Good evening and welcome to this last edition of September of FSU Weather on, again, Monday, September 30th, 2013. I'm student meteorologist Tyler Allender.
And I'm meteorologist Jonathan Bellis. And what's interesting, we got that taste of fall last weekend.
Yes.
Some parts of the country are seeing their first taste of winter.
Yeah, it looked like a winter day here, but it certainly felt and looked more winter elsewhere, especially out more toward the Midwest.
Yeah, it's interesting. Snowfall in the Rockies has been a couple of weeks ahead of schedule.
Normally it comes more like, middle part of October to end of October.
Right.
So that's going to continue as we go in toward the next couple of days.
Yeah, and actually they're going to see a very weird chance of snow coming up for the Arrowhead of Minnesota. I say weird because it's almost a month ahead of schedule.
Yeah, October 24th is the average first day of snow in Duluth, Minnesota, up there in the Arrowhead of Minnesota.
Yeah, they're actually opening up the ski resorts in the Rockies, and they may have to start thinking about that in the Midwest.
It's crazy to start thinking. Again, we're not even into the month of October, almost, but it's way ahead of schedule and certainly good for, as you said, the ski resorts out there and getting the economies going.
Have you started making plans for the winter yet?
I haven't even thought about it. Have you?
No, I'm just starting to make plans for the fall. I actually went shopping for a windbreaker this afternoon.
Okay, well, we're going to be needing it pretty soon, not just yet in our forecast, and you're going to have more on what's going on around the nation, right?
Yeah, around the nation, that main low pressure system coming out of the Colorado Rockies, you can see it there, bringing rain right now across the upper Rockies right now from Salt Lake City up towards the north, and this is going to really begin to turn into snow as we head in the next couple of days. And that whole system is going to come down the Rockies and then back up, and then we're going to see that rain change over to snow in parts of northern Minnesota. As we head into the local area, we're starting to see a kind of a change, really. The rain chances are going to linger, and it's kind of look like a lot like winter here. Temperatures aren't going to show it at all, and the tropics aren't showing it either. Jerry has formed, we'll get to that later in the show. Another cold front is on its way, and the moisture is really staying here, and it's going to get stuck. High pressure is pinning it down into the Gulf Coast, and it's really not going to move all that far. Deep tropical moisture is going to come up from the Caribbean over the next week or so and really enhance that moisture over the next 6 to 7 days as well. Now, it's quite interesting. We're looking at local weather here, but we're also going to look at something that happened all the way around the world.
That's right. It's something called, well, I'm going to butcher it, but Zalzara Jazira, which is an earthquake island, right?
Yeah, actually that's the direct translation to direct earthquake island there. You can see it. This is the first satellite image we're showing you now of that new island.
Pretty fascinating stuff, and it's relatively small when you look at the grand scheme of things, like 15 to 20 meters in depth and maybe up to 90 meters across, but still a pretty fascinating thing. It looks like it's mostly made up of, what, mud and...
Yeah, what's interesting to scientists at least is it's actually erupting methane gas, so it's also a volcano.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, if I can spit out that.
And yeah, so interesting weather phenomenon, but it has happened in the past. 1999 earthquake and 2010 earthquake in that part of the world has produced a similar phenomenon, so quite a sight to see.
Anything good to see out there, Troy?
Well, John, just lots of good things today, but not one of them was this extra cloud cover, which I'm going to explain, by the way, with these temperatures. 78 degrees was our high today, and we were well below average, as I already explained earlier, that we had lots and lots of clouds earlier today, so that really helped to keep our temperatures rather on the low side. And we're just going to continue to illustrate these temperatures for you. 75 degrees is the current temperature in the capital city, still along with mostly cloudy conditions, and that will be the trend going into at least for the next couple of days. And looking at your temperatures on a broader scale across the Big Bend region, you can see right here, lots and lots of 70s, around the 75 in Tallahassee, 73 degrees in St. Mark's, with 80 degrees being the warm spot in the map. So once again, most of the viewing area is seeing very, very cool temperatures at that. And we're going to help you illustrate your humidities with your dew points. Remember, dew point is a good indicator as to how much moisture there is in the atmosphere. And we're a little bit more muggy than we've been seeing over the past couple of days, with dew points run into the upper 60s and low 70s. And when dew points start to get that high, then that means that it starts to get a little bit more uncomfortable in the atmosphere, and as a result, a lot more muggy. But taking a look at your satellite and radars, and you can see that we have lots and lots of unsettledness going across the Big Bend region. Look, we do have a disturbance that is situated off the Gulf Coast of Florida, and we really have spotty showers popping up across the region. And to give you a rundown of what's going to be happening over the next couple of days, we do have high pressure sitting toward the north of us, and that is, we're in mostly dry weather right now, but that's going to change over the next couple of days as we extend out to your future cast. We have this deep tropical moisture that will begin to funnel in the region, and over the coming days, you can see the high pressure begin to shift towards the east, and that will allow the southerly flow to kick in and bring that tropical moisture. And that does mean that we will have the threat for rain chances every day this week. So for those of you going out, you want to make sure that you have an umbrella, but have no fear. That doesn't mean you could change your plans. Just go inside and maybe study. A lot of college students have lots of exams this week, or just watch a movie, The Significant Other. I don't have one, but I'll be watching the movie anyway, folks. But in the meantime, we're gonna look ahead at your beach forecast. And it won't be the best day, but if you still want to go out, just watch those big waves and go ahead and do it. With winds, we'll be sitting at east to 10 knots with surf with 1 to 2 feet. And tonight's forecast, 65 degrees is tonight's temperature, so very, very mild at that, coupled with mostly cloudy conditions. But as already mentioned, we will have the threat for rain showers at 30%. So once again, have that umbrella out if you're planning on going outside. Tomorrow's forecast, actually tonight's forecast, more the same, 60s across much of the Viewing region. And there we go, there's that tomorrow's forecast graph at 85 degrees, so another warm night ahead. And moving on to your 7-day forecast, as I mentioned, each and every day we've featured the chances for rain every day. So just make sure you have an umbrella with temperatures in the mid-80s. But let's zoom out to the southeast with Jason. And Jason, how are things looking around the southeast?
Hey, thanks. Alrighty, folks. Sorry, it was just a little slight technical microphone problem. You hear my beautiful voice again. I'm once again on air. But going ahead, reviewing out what Troy said earlier. Now, Tallahassee is a kind of good model of what's happening around the southeast today. A lot of cloud cover, overcast, associated with quite a few things. I'll get to in a second. Current conditions, though, looking very cloudy throughout most of the southeast region. Savannah sitting at a comfortable 73 degrees. Atlanta 74 degrees. Very moist, though, around most of these areas. Certainly, the cloud cover helps to keep the moisture inside the atmosphere. And the dew points is certainly indicating where the moisture is. Now, we're at 73-degree dew point in New Orleans. Indicates a lot of moisture. Feels very muggy outside, maybe sweat even pouring on you at that point. So certainly high 60s into the mid 70s is where a lot of the moisture is associated, and then up into the South Carolina and North Carolina is where that dry air is, where that high pressure system is. Now the current winds will show us where these, of course, weather phenomenons are. We have a clockwise rotation right All right. Well, we're back, and we had some mic trouble, so we apologize for that. We'll maybe get back to Jason pretty soon.
You know what we had also some trouble with? The forecast over the weekend.
I tell you what, we had some big time trouble. Friday's show, we said the low was going to be 62 for Saturday morning, and then 58 on Sunday morning. Hey, guess what? We didn't get anywhere close to that. 65 was the morning low both days.
Yeah, and the really reason for that is we had a lot of cloud cover. What happens with clouds is they tend to isolate all that air down towards the surface and keeps that warm air down towards the surface. As soon as those clouds come off, that heat comes back up and lifts off into the atmosphere.
And that's right. And we even had a little bit of wind, and that kind of mixes things up and keeps the temperature up as well. Either way, it's a forecaster's nightmare, and it, causes a little bit of trouble. So we just thought we'd give you a little bit of truth about we're not always spot on with that forecast.
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit better this week. I think rain chances are there each and every day, so temperatures during the evening hours are going to be up as well.
Yeah, and we'll see temperatures in the 80s in the afternoon and lows in the 60s and maybe some 70s. So.
Yeah, it's starting to feel a little bit more like fall. A couple more clouds. A couple of trees on campus are starting to turn a little less green.
Yeah,
not quite orange.
That's about all we can do in Florida this early. And as we go into the next month and the next couple of weeks, I think we'll start to see more of those cool fronts begin to progress their way down. Yeah,
we'll start to see temperatures go up and down, up and down. Time to get your flu shot this time of year.
That's right. And even just still get out there and enjoy the weather while it's not too cold.
Yeah, I heard that at the res, the water's still right around 80 degrees.
It'll be very nice to get out there and enjoy, and I'll take a look at that if you're going to the beach or boating a little bit later in the show. But for now, we want to take a look at what's going on around the nation, once again with Raquel.
Thanks, guys. Well, around the nation, parts of it has been pretty loud and clear, as it is in New Orleans. They're starting to see a lot of storms out there. But in our neck of the woods, we had overcast skies and then light rain, and that is due to all this Gulf moisture that's coming out from the south. So what's going to be happening nationwide? We're going to expect a cold front right here, just going to be moving its way down towards towards Florida and bring us another little cold front. So our rain chances will increase by this weekend. There it is right now, right across, all the way stretching from the Billings, Idaho, through Salt Lake City into San Francisco. And that cold front has been bringing some nasty storms to the northwest. And the combination of the onshore winds and the cold front has been bringing those rain precipitation just up an inch, two. They're just seeing a lot of moisture out there. Taking a look at the southeast right now, all that moisture just coming out from the Gulf. And that is due to a low pressure system situated, actually a weak low pressure system rather, just situated right there by the peninsula, or yeah, by the panhandle rather. And that's bringing a little bit of moisture into our area. We're going to take a look at the northeast right now. A few pop-up showers right above Canada. They actually have a high pressure situated right above New Hampshire and Vermont. And that's going to keep them dry for the next couple of days. Now again, there's that cold front right there, and that's going to be stretching all the way down into Nebraska. Sit there for a little bit, become stationary, and then get that energy again to move down into Florida. All this moisture right here is all part of a dissipating stationary front that's stretching all the way from San Antonio into the Great Lakes. That will dissipate by tomorrow. So will that bring us better weather, or will that bring us nothing? We're actually going to have that moisture just coming out from the Gulf, and that high pressure system just not letting it reach too high north, but it's actually just kind of bringing it up into this area. Along the Mississippi Valley, there's just going to be expecting a lot of moisture. So that water vapor, a good indication of how dry, how moist. Tonight's forecast though, 67 in Memphis, Tallahassee at 65. And if we see the cold front in the northeast, just bringing those temperature down, 43 in Billings, 49 in Denver, 55 in Albuquerque. And tomorrow's forecast, just that again, we're gonna have a nice, or 88 in Tallahassee. That moisture going to bring a little bit of cloudy skies, and I will send it back to the desk. Or actually, I will send it to Shane now with our local. How's it looking, Shane?
Thank you very much, Raquel. Well, today, sorry about that, folks. It is currently 74 degrees in the capital city of Tallahassee, and you may notice this is a little bit below average. We usually hit the 80s in the afternoon. This is due to the overcast skies and rain that we saw today. A gloomy day, wasn't it? This was associated with a low pressure system sitting just off the Florida coast around Apalachicola. Right now, our radar is showing fragmented moisture across the area, spotted showers encircling the Big Bend region. So definitely it was a great day to have an umbrella around, or just stay inside and study. We know midterm season is coming up and we gotta stay on top of things. Currently though, our temperatures across the Big Bend region, 74 again in Tallahassee, a little warmer, 77 off the coast in Apalachicola, 73 in Valdosta. So as you can see, it is considerably cooler than average across the whole Big Bend region due to all that moisture that the low pressure system has brought in to our area. Here our water vapor map shows these white patches indicate increased moisture as opposed to the pockets of brown air as indicated by orange and dark gray. So this moisture is sweeping in from the west across our region and should be pushing out, but don't shelve your umbrellas just yet. We should see a little bit more moisture to come. Here our futurecast is indicating today we had a high pressure system over the Carolinas, and that was responsible for pushing a great deal of moisture into our area in combination with the low pressure system off the coast here. Now we will see the low pressure system begin to shift northwards, and I'm sorry to tell you that that will allow more moisture to push in from the Gulf of Mexico, a lot of tropical moisture with the hurricane season remaining in effect at the moment. Tonight, however, we should see a low of 65 degrees. Very comfortable outside. However, rain chances do linger throughout the evening. So again, I iterate, it might be a good day, or a good evening rather, to stay inside and study. Tomorrow we should be a little bit more seasonal with a high of 85 degrees and only a 20% chance of rain. So we can't rule moisture out of the forecast entirely, but it does look like it will be considerably nicer tomorrow. Maybe a good day to get back outside and exercise. This week, over the next 7 days, we will see more seasonal temperatures with generally nicer weather. Over the rest of the week, we will see highs in the mid to upper 80s with decreased chances of precipitation increasing again over the weekend. And now let's send it back to the desk.
Okay, thanks, Shane. And after looking at that 7-day forecast, I'm definitely going to be staying inside and probably studying. What about you?
Especially with those rain chances going on. We'll go into your normal segment of the show, though. This day in weather history, back in 1915. What happened in 1915, Troy?
Well, Brandon, back in 1950, we had a Category 4 hurricane that hit the southeast Louisiana, and it brought, of course, it was very devastating. It brought lots of storm surge in parts of the southeastern Louisiana communities.
Absolutely, specifically a 13-foot storm surge. If you're thinking of storm surge, it's that wall of water that's being pushed in by the hurricane, just in kind of a giant wave just moving into those inland areas.
Mm-hmm. And it took a track similar to Hurricane Katrina as far as moving northwards and to the east of New Orleans. And New Orleans did get affected by it, but the bulk of the damage is to the south. But in the meantime, we're going to send it back out to the wall with Tyler. Tyler, how are things looking across around Florida?
Lots of anticipation for this Florida forecast, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at a few net cams and start off along the Emerald Coast and Forgotten Coast. Let's go over to Panama City if we can, and take a look at what's going on with the weather. And it's very cloudy, very gloomy, a couple of showers from time to time as well, but looks like the camera isn't pulling up. But believe me, it's cloudy and it's gloomy, and it's not exactly a ideal beach day across the state of Florida, especially across the Panhandle. We've had a lot of cloud cover, not a whole lot of bite in terms of the rain today in Tallahassee, a couple hundredths of an inch, but some heavier rains right along the coast, it seemed today. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on currently out there at 74, rain cooled in Jacksonville and in Tallahassee, cloud cooled as well, but you can see a little bit more sunshine in the central and southern part of the state, so temperatures are more what you would expect for this last day of September, mid-80s there. 85, Key West, you're actually seeing some sunshine right now. Now, on the water vapor satellite imagery in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, we got quite a bit of moisture indicated by this soupy texture on the satellite picture, and so that means we have a lot of moisture up there. And then at the ground, we also have a lot of moisture. The dew points show this, upper 60s, lower 70s, quite a bit of oppressive moisture, so it's warm and it's a little sticky out there as you've been going about your day. Little radar tour for you now. You can see North Florida. Again, the scattered showers have been plentiful here, with everything moving kind of from west to east today. Ocala, you're getting a bit of rain, again, up toward the first coast as well. Central Florida, nice and dry, a nice change after last week's heavy rain, but that's going to change in a couple of days. We'll be back into the rain machine there. South Florida, although we're seeing some storms pop up here, you can see over the Everglades mostly. This is a sign of the moisture that's going to be increasing over the next several days. Locally, you can see a couple scattered showers popping up from time to time, but again, nothing too heavy. Just be aware that it's going to be making the streets a little slick on this evening. Easterly winds going to the beach tomorrow at about 10 knots, surf about 1 to 2 feet, pretty similar to today with kind of mostly cloudy skies, that water temperatures in the low range of the 80s. If you're going on the boat, again, watch out for those offshore showers. Light to moderate chop as possible. And you can see the days are getting shorter here with less than 12 hours of daylight. That's going to continue all the way through December. Tonight's forecast temperatures will be in the 60s across the northern part of the state and warmer, more tropical feeling as you would expect down towards central and southern Florida. Tomorrow afternoon, we're hoping to get up into the upper 80s tomorrow. After today's cooler weather, low 90s though, with more sunshine across the central part of the state. But Braden, it's been very quiet in the tropics. What's going on now?
Absolutely, Tyler. We're going to talk about the tropics, but first we're going to take another look at what's going on nationally. Raquel was talking earlier about this cold front up here, looking pretty good, pretty organized. Cooler temperatures up in Billings, Montana, a 20-degree temperature change over the last 24 hours. Now, that step by the way, you can see all this rain just over Louisiana, Florida, a lot of moisture coming in over the day and over the next couple of days as well, due to that tropical moisture being brought in by the stationary front and that high pressure system. Airport delays, nothing much to speak of except out in San Francisco. You're looking at a 117-minute delay. What could I say? It's San Francisco. It's a pretty busy airport. Right now, looking at current temperatures around the country, 76 in Kansas City, 80 in Minneapolis. Those cooler temperatures out in the northwest where that cold front has already gone through, 54 in Billings and 55 in Seattle. The water vapor imagery showing dry air along Texas and out toward Arizona by the Pacific, but that moisture again by Montana and Washington starting to build, and also moisture down by Florida starting to build as that tropical moisture continues to move in. Now what we've been waiting for, let's get into your tropical update and check out your storm names. Tropical Storm Jerry has arrived. Tropical Storm Jerry came in earlier today, was a tropical depression in the morning, and definitely got itself together rather quickly. It's not going to be a threat to us, and I'll show you that in a second. Our climatology, your last day of September, of course, this is kind of going out of date now, but you would expect on this last day, if any hurricanes were to move in, they'd go up to the east or through Florida in the Gulf Coast. But here is Jerry on your satellite and radar, and you can see definitely got very organized just over the last 12 hours. However, it will be no threat to us, which you will see on the forecast track. It's kind of going to go around in circles a little bit. We'll check out your current numbers for it. Wind sitting at 40 miles an hour, gusting to 52. Pressure at 1,008 millibars, so it's looking pretty nice. We're going to put it into motion, and again, it's not going to do much, so we're kind of just going to go ahead and pass that. Now, this is what we're talking about right now, and this is Invest 97L. Right now, not a great chance of development. It definitely could develop, and if it does, it might move into the Gulf and may impact our weather over the next couple of days. However, we'll keep you posted here at FSU Weather. Just keep an eye on the weather as we move in. We'll go ahead and finish off with your satellite in the southeast, showing this rain just over Louisiana, Florida, over the Gulf Coast. That tropical moisture will continue to move in over the next couple days, and that will change our temperatures as well. And our hurricane climatology for October, if any storms come in, a lot of them will start forming in the Caribbean and go in through the Gulf Coast. Definitely a lot of impact for Florida and the eastern United States over the next couple weeks in the month of October. So Troy, what do you think about that? Invest 97L might be impacting our weather soon.
Yes, speaking about that, Invest 97L is located in the Central Caribbean right now, and the environmental conditions are somewhat favorable for it to develop over the next few days.
Yeah, absolutely. Earlier yesterday, only had about a 10% chance of development. I think it's jumped to about 30% by now.
Yes, and right now it's going to bring lots of rain towards the Jamaica region. And,
Absolutely.
And of course, with the threat for the rain, that leads to also the threat for flash flood. And so those of you that are planning on traveling to Jamaica this time of week, just make sure you watch your weather local authorities, because and tune into what's going to happen with your weather down in that
Yeah,
region.
absolutely. Even if it doesn't make an impact, even if it doesn't become a tropical system, the threat for flooding is still there, especially, like you said, out in Jamaica. Maybe if it moves north into Cuba, a lot of flooding concerns out there.
Yes, and eventually, the models do have it forecasted to move into the Gulf of Mexico, and that could play a role in the weather of the South Florida, but that's still too early to tell.
Absolutely. We'll keep you posted here on FSU Weather, but for now, we'll bring it back home to your last local. Jonathan, how's it looking out there?
Looking a little bit chilly for this time of year. We only made it up to 78 degrees this afternoon with all that cloud cover. And the clouds also kept in the heat overnight, 68 degrees, very in between those average temperatures, nowhere near the average because of that lack of sunshine. And that lack of sunshine has brought us a couple of raindrops as well down at the airport, 74 degrees with a light rain down there with a late easterly wind as well down at the airport. And that the cloud cover has really trapped in the temperatures really all between 73 and 75 degrees, except for in Quincy, which is 72, and Bainbridge and Mariana, where they're up into the upper 70s, where that cloud cover hasn't really been all that tight there across the northern parts of our area. Here's a look at our local radar. You can see those showers pushing on out, and this is the reason we saw Mariana and the northern parts of our area get up a little bit warmer. You can see the back edge of that cloud cover coming in from southern Alabama and starting to reach southern parts of Georgia, as well as the western part of our viewing area. Around the region, we're looking A little bit drier from Montgomery up to Alabama into Atlanta as well. You can see the clouds are starting to thin out there. There's plenty more moisture back into Louisiana and Texas. You're going to see a lot more moisture on this radar as we head into the next couple of days as well, and this is why. There's a stationary front parked in Louisiana right now that's starting to bring in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico up into Louisiana, and you're also seeing high pressure pump in moisture from the Atlantic and bring it across the state of Florida and bring in plenty of showers across the peninsula of Florida. And this is going to continue over the next 6 to 7 days. I'm not saying that it's going to be a washout in any of those 6 to 7 days, but what I am saying is we're going to see spotty showers move throughout the afternoon hours from time to time. You're going to need your umbrella and probably your boots from day to day. And I'll get to that in your 7-day forecasts. For tonight, we're looking a little bit cooler than last night, 68 degrees with a 30% chance of showers, mainly ending before midnight, but again, there's always a chance of a couple spotty pop-up showers during the overnight hours with an east-northeast wind at 5 miles an hour. For tomorrow's forecast, we're looking at 85 degrees. I think we're going to see a couple more breaks in those clouds as we head into the afternoon hours with a spotty chance of showers into the afternoon hours as well. Those showers are going to be passing on from east to west as we head into the afternoon hours. Here's your look at that 7-day forecast. Going to clear out just a little bit as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. Right around 20% chances of rain, warming up into the mid to upper 80s as we head into the end of this week before rain chances turn back into the picture. And also with those upgraded rain chances, we're going to see warmer temperatures during the overnight hours and cooler temperatures during the afternoon hours as well. Now, what do you think about that, guys at the desk?
Well, you know what, John? I think it's going to be pretty rainy this week. Maybe not the best week to make outdoor plans.
I'm going to have that poncho in hand. I'm just going to go on campus, show that poncho with my umbrella, just like wave it around on campus. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good day for umbrellas and ponchos. We'll bring you out to Seattle, though, where a rare confirmed tornado touched down
yes,
earlier.
this happened 7:20 local time, and it damaged some buildings around the Seattle region. Of course, it hit in a suburb called Frederickson, and near the Northwest factory, and it also blew out some windows and damaged a building around where they're working on what I call the downtown Seattle tunnel project.
Yeah, absolutely. Down in Washington, I don't see how they really only get one tornado a year. So just to have a tornado out there is a very interesting situation. The strongest tornado, one of the largest tornadoes that ever hit in Seattle, was an F3 tornado that killed 6 people. However, we'll bring it back home. You can see your 7-day forecast out there looking at rain chances throughout the week.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, have that umbrella and poncho in hand because, if you have any outdoor activities and things, get dark, just change your plans and go inside watch me. But anytime you can like us on Facebook.com/FSU Weather or follow us at Twitter.com/FSU Weather. And you can watch us anytime on Livestream.com/FSU Weather. But, just keep watching us, right, Brayden?
Absolutely. You guys have a great evening. I'm student meteorologist Brayden Robinson.
And I'm student meteorologist Troy Fields. And once again, I hope you guys stay safe with the inclement weather this week. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe and have fun.
Absolutely. Have a great night.